Hi Sagittarius, welcome to your weekly check-in for the 17th to the 23rd of December. The messages are for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon and Rising. Thank you very much to everyone who watches, likes, shares, comments on the video and subscribes to the channel. It's all appreciated. If you want to book a personal reading, see the info in the description box on how to do that. So these are the decks, some of the decks I'm going to be using for the reading today. We're going to start off with a message from the Akashic Tarot, which I'm still using as an oracle deck. And that will be your main theme or main message. So for this weekly check-in for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon and Rising, what do we need to know? What do we need to know? You've got reflection. So I'm going to read the message from the book for this before we get into your reading. So it gives a message if the card comes out upright and if it comes out reversed. And I'm just going to read both because it could be relevant either way. So it's for the upright message, it says, a full moon shines brightly over a quiet lake as a small ship glides gently through the water. The glow of the ship's lantern is reflected on the lake's surface along with the moonlight from above. This card can sometimes show on a trip, particularly a trip over or by water. More important, it can reveal that you now have a direct line to your psychic gifts. You are also more aware of your emotions and more reflective about them. You recognize the differences between your intuitive voice, which is calm and assured, and your lower emotional compulsions, which are urgent and sometimes fear-based. Let yourself gain even greater clarity and control over your emotions now. This also would be a great time for you to take classes in meditation, psychic development, counseling, healing, and other psychological and spiritual arts. If you have such an interest, your yin side is wide open and your receptivity is high. Trust your inner voice and you will be guided to greatness. And the reverse part of the message says, reverse, this card can indicate a cancelled or changed trip. However, it often goes much deeper than that. Water, the symbol of your emotional energy, is now on top. It washes over you, blocking your reflective experience and disrupting your life's journey. Indeed, you may have been experiencing an inner battle between your emotional needs and your intuitive voice, with the emotions often winning. The astral energy that feeds your psychic sensitivity can get lost when the lower emotions take over. It's time to look within and understand the emotional storms that are influencing you. Do they stem from lack or fear? Find out what motivates your emotional ups and downs. Meditate to reconnect to your source. When you calm the emotional seas, you will again be illuminated from above. So we are going to get your tarot cards out. So there is a strong, I think intuition is like a key word with this reflection card. I mean, you've got the moon in the card, you've got water there. Those all connect to intuition. So let's get your tarot cards out, as I said. So I'm going to read the cards as I did in last week's weekly check-in with the past, present and future energies. We're going to get another card relating to the theme first of all, before we continue though. So again, what else do we need to know about this main theme or message for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon and Rising, please, for the 17th to the 23rd of December. Oh, that is really, it's an energy of reflection, isn't it? With that Four of Swords, that is very interesting. I mean, it can be rest, it can be respite. He looks like he's meditating there. So yeah, what are you reflecting on? That's the question, isn't it? So past energies around this. It's like a timeout, isn't it? I'm hearing up with this. Even though it felt like that, I'm getting the words up. So yeah. All right, the Lovers. So present energy, I was thinking about present energy as I was shuffling. So 8 of Cups, 9 of Pentacles, that really reeks of independence. Reeks of, that sounds a bit bad, but yeah, it reeks of independence. With the 8 of Cups, I mean, that is not settling, is it, at all? It's going off, facing the unknown. 9 of Pentacles, it's your own individual stability. It can be about confidence, as I said, independence, liberation as well. Let's get one more card for your potential future energy, please. You have the King of Cups and the Knight of Wands. Wow. That is a nice combination there, because Right, so King of Cups, as I'll repeat like I do all the time, like a broken record. The King of Cups, he is a master of his emotions. He's emotionally mature, emotionally intelligent, emotionally resilient, but he can have a tendency to be reserved with his emotions until he's ready to express it. However, with the Knight of Wands, that is a good combination because the Knight of Wands is fearless, passionate. I believe it is Sagittarius energy. The Knight of Wands is like, you know where you stand. You know exactly where you stand with the Knight of Wands. They're just literally fearless. They'll let it all out. So with the two of them together, if that was your energy, for example, that is a really good balance, or it is a good balance. If it's quite equal, then it is a good balance because you've got the emotional maturity, but then you've got the fearlessness as well with that. So it's like whatever you're feeling, it's taking action on those feelings. But as I say, you've got the balance of the two. So the reserved side of the King of Cups would stop the Knight of Wands from going too over the top and sort of outrageous and getting to the point of recklessness. But then the fearlessness of the Knight of Wands brings the King of Cups out of his shell. So it is a nice combination of energies to have there for whatever it relates to. And that's future energy. So at this stage here with the Eight of Cups, Nine of Pentacles, that could be the stage of either leaving something behind for your own independence, or at the very least you have the feeling that, yeah, this isn't working for me, and being ready to go off and do your own thing. I'll figure out what the Lovers is as we go along. I mean, that is usually, I mean, if there's reflection here and intuition and thinking about things, the Lovers is kind of where in the past you probably would be thinking or are connected to something that you love. It may even be something you loved something in the past, or were connected to something in the past, but now you've made a choice that you might not feel that way about it anymore, because the Eight of Cups is often something, it can be walking away from something that was just bullshit anyway, but it can also be that it's something that you actually loved before, but then whatever happened, however things changed, you just don't feel the same way about it anymore. So let's look at that Four of Swords for you. So Four of Swords, why is that there, please? So you've got the Emperor. The question, how can I take my power back, is coming to mind straight off. But let's see what else comes out with that. Or to even take control of my life is coming to mind as well. We've got the Two of Wands. I mean, that does make sense in terms of a how question. Like, how do I take control of my life? That's where you have to make a choice and choose a path, isn't it? Anything else? Hermit. That is, again, it's a card of reflection, introspection even. It's kind of, it's reflecting on what you know, who you are as well. I'm getting yes with that. That was really weird. So we've got the, wow, I love that. Judgment card. And wow, Page of Pentacles. Wow. That's, could someone be going through a spiritual awakening here or something along those lines? With the Hermit and the Judgment card, it feels, I mean, those Judgment and like the Death card or the Hanged Man or something would probably be more of an indication of spiritual awakening. But let's say awakening at the very least, even if we don't attach the word spiritual to it. With the Judgment card and the Hermit, it really is making me think of some kind of awakening, awareness, epiphany, something to that effect. Again, it's still that question, how do I get my power back? What path do I choose to do this? I mean, this is the journey. This is the journey of discovery, where you could be doing that internally right now, where you are on an internal journey of self-discovery and reflection and introspection. But it's like something's definitely changed here, where you are reviewing the past, and it's like you want new, you want to start again. With the looks of it, with that Page of Pentacles, for me, that can be about starting again. I don't really, I mean, it doesn't feel like I need to sub-clarify, but I'll just be nosy and do the Page of Pentacles just for the hell of it. Well, not for the hell of it, there might be a reason. Right, let me try that again. Right, the Magician has fallen onto my lap, so I feel that that's right. I'm going to trust that. Anything else? Okay, we have the Page of Swords. Wow, and the Star. So yeah, it's energies of starting again, being willing to start again. You've got the Magician there, so I feel that you probably have or are building up the confidence to pursue the path that you want to pursue. It's like you may be at the beginning stage, but you know that you have the power and the capability to manifest and achieve what you want. I mean, I've spoken of the Magician as well, that he does have mastery over some things, but he's continuing to hone his skills. So it's like he's a master and he's on the journey of mastery as well, in however that connects to you. You've got the Page of Swords, which for me, it can be being very open-minded, like you're willing to learn, you're willing to explore new truths, you have a new truth, you're willing to learn. I think I said you're willing to learn already. The Star indicates hope and faith to me here. So even again, Page of Pentacles, it's wanting to plant a new seed, but having the faith and the hope that you can do this. So I'm going to leave those there. I'll put these back in the deck. I'm hoping that I won't lose my voice doing these readings, because I've got a bit of a little bit of a cold, sore throat type thing, and I've got how many more readings? 4 more readings to do, and I can feel my throat going. So, but I want to get it done. Right, so let's look at the Lovers. That's the past energy. I mean, again, it could be reflecting on what you did love or what you do love, or feel connected to. It's again, the Lovers can be a choice as well. That whole thing about choosing vice or virtue, as in vice is the things that you feel obligated towards, or the things that you choose that hold you back. Virtue are the things that there's more integrity with it, the things that you really do love. So let's look at that Lovers card, please. Okay. You have the Queen of... Wow. I mean, that really speaks at present of really being honest with yourself about if something makes you happy or not, with that Nine of Cups, and it's in reverse. So it may have made you happy at one point, but it's like, what makes me happy now? And probably not the old thing. The Ten of Swords, that's where it's done. So yeah, if it was I mean, romantic relationships are a really easy example to give, but if it was a romantic relationship, it may have made you happy previously, but there's a sense of knowing now that you've learned and you've grown. I would say you've even grown within that relationship, and it's like you have a new truth now, and it's like, yeah, it's not in line with my truth anymore. So that feeling, the whatever thoughts you had about it before, it's over. If it's a job, same thing. Whatever career path you may have been on before, it's that feeling that at one point in time, it probably gave you a sense of fulfillment, or it made you feel satisfied, or there was something about it that may have felt honourable, or you felt you were doing the right thing even. I don't know. I think that whole right thing is coming in because of that Queen of Swords, actually, because she can be known to be about integrity and honour. So you may have felt like you were doing the right thing, and that fed your sense of satisfaction. But now, yeah, that thought and that feeling is dead there. So it probably is more about considering something that you loved before, that you no longer feel the same way about. So anything else here? Do I want to take these? Right. What do I want to take? Shall I just take all? Yeah, we'll just take all of them. So we're going to take the Star. Right. I feel that you've already acknowledged what you did love, and that you probably don't love it anymore, or it just doesn't feel the same way anymore. It's not to say you don't love it, actually, because, you know, sometimes in relationships as well, you could still love for someone, but you just know that you're not compatible and you're not on the same page, and it's just not gonna grow the way it should. Like, it stunts your growth almost. Like, it may even be, you know, sometimes people can separate from relationships, and it's not even that they've grown to hate each other. They've just literally grown apart, and it just doesn't. There's the connection. There is no connection anymore, to be honest. Like, you might still love them and care for them and respect them, but it's just dead. But with the Star, again, that's that sense of I'd say it's more wishing here. There's kind of hope, but I feel like it's more wishing for something different, wishing for change, and like a massive change as well with the Wheel of Fortune. I would say the Page of Swords here, it's more about that new truth, So again, whatever you loved before, it's gaining that new truth that, yeah, this just isn't right anymore and I want a massive change. And then the King of Wands, it's being willing to take action towards something new, I was going to say redirect your passion, but to be frank, if you're in a situation where you've kind of lost that feeling of love or whatever it was, or connection to something, there's nothing to redirect, is there? So it's like you'd have to regain your power. So the Page of Swords, as well as a new truth, could be considered as a sort of being willing to learn how to regain that sense of passion and inspiration. And I know one example, I've given this before, I don't know whose video I'd used as an example in it, and it was ages ago now. But on one occasion where I'd left a job and I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do next, I just said, I feel like I've lost all my motivation. I just don't know what to do with myself anymore now. And a friend said to me, if you feel like I can't remember the exact words now, but something about if you feel like there's nothing that you're passionate about in life, be passionate about yourself. And I took that on board, and it 1,000% worked. I stopped focusing on what do I have to do, like I need to do this to prove myself and that to prove myself. And I started to try and remember what I liked about myself, because we often talk about self-love, but what do you actually like about yourself? You know what I mean? And I like to make lists and journal, and I like to journal in books and also voice journal as well. So I made lists about the stuff that I like about myself, that I liked about my personality, as more so than loved. I mean, I think that feeling of self-love that I developed years ago, it's never gone. But then it's like even with people in family members, isn't it, that you can love them. The love will probably always be there, but there are times that you don't like them, aren't there? Like even if you love them, even with your kids, sometimes your kids can be an absolute pain in the arse, can't they? And it's like, yes, I love my kid to death, but they're being a right arsehole right now, so I don't like what they're doing. And I think you can feel that way about yourself as well. Like you don't lose the self-love, but you start to lose that sense of liking for yourself, or something to that effect anyway. But yeah, I made lots of lists. I thought about what I valued about myself, what I appreciated about myself, and then because I'd actually forgotten all the stuff that I used to enjoy, or I'd even lost the passion for things that I enjoyed. So I don't know how, but it worked eventually, and then I started to get that inspiration back. And yeah, so yeah, the point was Page of Swords, it's wanting that change and having a new truth, and being willing to rediscover what how you can feel passionate about yourself, about life, whatever it is. Where does your passion lie? So I'm going to leave that there with those cards. I will point out that somebody here may be inspired to start their own business, or adapt the business that they've already started, or if you've already had your own business before, do something different, expand, diversify. I mean, I know, for example, in spiritual, I've kind of been researching people who are well-known spiritual teachers, whatever you want to call them, entrepreneurs, and I've noticed that I can't think of any of them that I've looked at that only do one thing. Like lots of them, they are authors, they're television presenters, they create decks, they do readings. They've just got a bunch of diverse things that they do within their spiritual career, and that's how they've made their money. And I suppose that keeps them passionate about it as well, because I absolutely love tarot, but even I have to say this week I've had to slow down a bit because my child wasn't well, and I'm not 100% well either. I'm all right, but I'm not. We've been a bit ill, so my child was at home from school, so technically I could have done work while he was here, like the readings and stuff, but with the child being ill, it's like, well, no, I want to focus my attention on my child being ill. And I felt tired because, you know, when your kid's ill, you don't sleep that well. So it's like, but I appreciated that, because it does take quite a lot of effort doing the readings. It takes a lot of energy out of you. Some days, if you do too many readings in one day, you can end up with a massive headache, and it is worth it. Like, I feel it's worth it, but yeah, I do have a massive headache at the end of the day sometimes, and I'll still do it again anyway because I feel it's worth it. But sometimes you do, even the stuff you love, you need to take a break and balance things out with other things. Like I have to admit, I did get to the point where I was kind of grateful for the 2 days where I wasn't doing it, even though I've had to cram the past 2 days. But it was like, no, I appreciate the 2 days off, because it kind of was feeling a bit like a lot. And I have even considered doing less readings per week. Maybe. I mean, I like doing the all the zodiac signs every week, but yes, it takes more energy than you realize. I never imagined it would take mentally, emotionally, whatever, so much energy. But anyway, I've chatted enough. Getting back to your reading. So 9 of Pentacles, 8 of Cups. So this is the current or present energy, and I said it's if you haven't already taken action to leave something behind, it's at the very least the realization that you don't feel the same way. And as I said, I see that realization here in the past, that you don't love what you did before and you want something new. So let's see what comes up for that. Let's see. Knight of Wands, I mean, that is a card of action. It's a card of fearlessness. As I said here, it's about facing the unknown. That needs to be up again. That's another card of action. It can be communication as well, but it feels, next to the Knight of Wands, it really does feel like action, actually. Is that even the same type of bird? And I'm never sure if this is a falcon, an eagle. I don't think it's an eagle. I'm not good with birds, by the way, so if I'm saying the wrong thing, that's why. But those type of birds, is it birds of prey? I think they are. It kind of looks similar. We've got the King of Pentacles. We have the High Priestess. Excuse me. I think this is where I need to get myself a glass of water. Strength card. Okay, I'm just going to quickly get a drink because my throat is going completely dry. Right, Sagittarius. So, yep, High Priestess, Strength. So, first of all, you've got 2 cards of courage and fearlessness at either end. You've got the Knight of Wands and the Strength card. You've got the King of Pentacles in the middle. So, that is, it's having the capability to build upon whatever foundation you've got, or to build a new foundation, to start again. He is a businessman. The King of Pentacles can be a businessman or a higher level manager, that sort of thing. So again, somebody really could be trying to do something business wise. So I do still see this can be to do with progression and movement, but also because you've got the 8 of Wands and the High Priestess on either side of the King of Wands, it is again going back to that whole intuition. The High Priestess here, it's where you're either listening to your intuition or you're needing to let your intuition guide you on your path as well. But the 8 of Wands there, in terms of communication, and the High Priestess being there, that could be part of that intuitive, you know, like downloads, messages, signs, synchronicities, that sort of thing that kind of guides you on your path. But yeah, there's, as I say, there's courage there. The desire is there. Hopefully you're feeling that you're in this King of Pentacles energy, that you're quite determined to become independent. And we said the 9 of Pentacles under there could be independence, liberation as well. So presently, I mean, as I said, it looks like you've already identified what you do and don't want in the past. So you may be starting to take action now because you've got the Knight of Wands, 8 of Wands there, or you're preparing at the very least. If you haven't already started to take action, you are preparing. I mean, it talks a lot about reflection, so you could be in the planning stages of something. But and the key energy here was that, again, that reflective energy. So you might be in the planning stages, to be honest, if you haven't taken action yet. So got the Knight of Wands again there and the King of Cups in the future, potential future energy. So I'd say potential future before even clarifying is that you are, and as I say, the future's not set in stone. You've got free will. Other people have free will. You know how it goes. But you are likely to take action on how you feel in the future. But it's your choice, isn't it? So it depends on what you choose to do. We've got the Hierophant there, which I will clarify on its own. I mean, the Knight of Wands for me can be about freedom as well. And I've already spoken about liberation and independence there. So part of this Knight of Wands energy could be freeing yourself. If the Hierophant is something, old rules, restrictions, whether it's self-imposed rules, cultural rules, family rules, society rules, institutional rules, whatever, that have held you back, that can be where you free yourself in the future. You've got the 7 of Pentacles there. You've got the Chariot. This Chariot in particular is the most, what's the word? The most, the card that's the most about movement out of all of the Chariot cards I've ever seen, because usually you've got the charioteer with two horses, sphinxes, whatever, and either the horses are going in two different directions, or the sphinxes are sitting down, or one standing up, one sitting down. So usually it's kind of like it's preparing to make a move, isn't it? But this one it's literally moving. It's like shooting across the universe. So this one for me, yeah, this one is more about movement. There could be still an element of assessment here with the Seven of Pentacles, and asking questions, is it worth it, or what's worth it at the very least? If not, is it worth it? It can also indicate effort as well. Yeah, let's see what else comes up for that. I might clarify the Seven of Pentacles on its own as well, just to be clear on the meaning of it here. Okay, you've got two cards of still kind of assessment cards. The Seven of Cups again, is it a dream worth pursuing or a path worth pursuing? What are the different perspectives of it? And then you've got the Ace of Cups. I mean, that to me kind of says, is it fulfilling? Or it's going towards something that's fulfilling, and you can still take action and assess as you are taking the action, can't you? It doesn't mean you have to sit back and assess every single thing before you even make a move. You can make a move anyway and assess. So the Hierophant, why is that there, please? Well, that to me, that's completely shattering the old rules, isn't it? And it feels like with that Two of Pentacles and the Knight of Pentacles, that feels like duty and obligation. Which are not bad things, but if it depends on what they're directed towards. If it's directed towards things that have no value to you, and are not necessary, then it's not a good thing, is it? But if you are directing it towards something that you care about, that has value, that's important, that's essential, whatever you want to call it, then it matters. But yeah, it's like a shattering of the old way, the old rules, the old structure. Let's look at that Seven of Pentacles. Yeah, so there is a vibe of assessment, but more in the sense of, I mean, again, I don't know if it's where you've already put a little bit of effort in, like there might have been some effort put in. I mean, you've got the Queen of Pentacles here, so this is often about values, the self-worth for a start, but what she values in general as well, about what she does in the world, in terms of what she does in the world. You've got the Three of Pentacles, which can be collaboration. So they may be considering who you need to collaborate with, or you may be collaborating with people in the future. It can also be about, how do I bring things together? And they've got the crystals in both, haven't they? Is that crystals I can see there? Yeah, they've got crystals here and in this card as well. It can be about assessing where you put your effort based on what you value and who you work with. Or you may be putting in some effort and assessing it as you go along as well. Let's have a look at that Seven of Cups out of curiosity now, since I've looked at the other ones. Right, 10 of Cups. I mean, I've said before, that speaks of shared happiness, doesn't it? So who can you work with where they will share your happiness, or they enjoy the same thing as you, and you can work with them on it, collaborate with them on it, what will make you happy. King of Swords here. It feels a bit like boss energy, to be honest. So again, that whole independence thing, because they are an authority figure, the King of Swords, sorry, and they're knowledgeable as well. There's a leadership vibe there. Well, I mean, with all of the kings, there's a leadership vibe, but I think that was reversed, actually, wasn't it? Nine of Wands, yeah, it's reversed. Let's get one more for that. And then Four of Wands. Let's get one more. You may still need to overcome a little bit of worry about taking the lead, and that is normal, because I don't know if I've said it I think I've said it in every reading now, so I can't remember if I've said it already, about that whole fearlessness thing. That fearlessness means that you do something that you fear. Even though you feel the fear, you have the courage to do it, so you're fearing it less. It's not that you are completely eliminating fear. That's just, I mean, if you're human, you're going to have fear, aren't you? If you don't have fear, then I don't know about that. But yeah, it is normal to have some level of fear. So there may be a little bit with that Nine of Wands. You've either overcome any fear or doubt, or you may need to overcome that. Or again, that can be by taking the lead, expressing your truth, because you've got two cards of truth here. You no longer feel trapped by duty and obligation, and you can build your own foundation instead. Because this particular Nine of Wands, she kind of feels like she's a caged animal. A lot of the Nine of Wands are about resilience, about still standing, but this poor woman feels like she's a caged animal, to be honest. So again, this could be part of your freedom, assessing the different perspectives there on what will make you happy, how you can have your freedom as well and express who you are. You do want the stability too, hopefully. Let's quickly look at the Ace of Cups and then I'll wrap the reading up. I mean, I would say that Four of Swords coming out there, Ace of Cups, it's kind of probably assessing if it's fulfilling or what is fulfilling as well, to be honest. And then you've got the Seven of Wands. Yeah, what's worth standing up for? What do you believe in? What's your heart called to? And then Ace of Pentacles, that is the seed that you want to plant. That is what feels valuable and worthwhile to you again. So there are a lot of cards here about what is valuable, what's worth it, what's not worth it. Probably more so you're more focused on what is worth it, I would say. I think you've already established what's not worth it, so you're very focused on what is worth it at this point. So future energy, as I said, it's acting upon how you feel and about what you feel is worth it, whether it means that it looks like you will take action, but there is still assessment as well as you go along by the looks of it. But as I said, there's dropping the old rules, structures, obligation, duty, that sort of thing there too. So let's get you some final cards of advice. So somebody could be leaving a job, leaving a relationship behind. Those are a few possibilities. Leaving a particular path that you've been on, whatever that is to you. A group even. So let's get you final cards of advice from the Angels and Ancestors deck. That was really quick, that was. I love this message actually. This is like a Maori warrior. It says, be fearless and stand strong. And I nearly lost the whole deck on my lap then. And it's pretty much what it says on the card, be fearless and stand strong. And we specifically use the word fearless, didn't we, in achieving what you want to achieve. So let's get one more. God, yours are really coming out easily, aren't they? You've got a lot of warrior energy here. I might have to use that in your title, actually, the warrior thing. You've got a shield maiden who is, to me, she's a warrior too. Make plans and focus. And I don't feel the need to read these from the deck, to be honest. I mean, I've generally not been reading them from the book. Sorry, not the deck, the book. I've kind of been looking. If I feel like there's anything I need to pick out of the book to say, then I will. But yeah, these are pretty straightforward. So be fearless and stand strong, make plans and focus. So there's a lot of reflective energy and assessment energy here, which is where the make plans and focus part would come in. So yeah, that's your reading, Sagittarius. Hopefully that was helpful to you. Thank you very much for watching. Feel free to like, share, comment, subscribe to the channel. If you want to book a personal reading, see the info in the description box. But thanks again and take care.